For over a decade, Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid built their reputation on a single, uncompromising principle. They do not let you score. They operate like a locked vault, suffocating opponents and completely shutting down the pitch. But coming into this match, their defense was paired with heavy artillery. With Antoine Griezmann leading the line, they possessed the elite offensive power that most clubs can only dream of fielding. So traveling to the Estadio de la Cerámica, the prediction was uniform across the board. Atletico was expected to walk in, control the tempo, and walk out with 3 points. The away side had the pedigree, the defensive structure, and the offensive firepower. On paper, all the pieces were set for a routine victory for the European giants. This data visualization tells a specific story. It shows Atletico holding 54% of the possession, taking 9 corner kicks, and generally commanding the ball for the majority of the night. Yet somehow, they conceded 5 goals. They left the pitch completely broken. The team that pulled this off is Villarreal. Looking at this high-altitude photograph, you can see their entire hometown is a modest, dense urban footprint surrounded by agricultural fields. Only 50,000 people live here. This outcome contradicts the logic of the match stats. Atletico dictated the tempo and monopolized the ball, yet suffered their most humiliating defensive collapse of the season against a team from a tiny provincial town. This tactical map reveals the opening 30 minutes. Villarreal's yellow nodes sit patiently at midfield, letting Atletico pass safely in their own half. But the second the ball crosses the middle third, their pressing trigger, the yellow unit instantly swarms the ball carrier in a trap. This sudden spike in pressure fractured Atletico's shape. They couldn't pass out of the swarm, they lost the ball in a dangerous area, and by the 30th minute, Villarreal had their opening goal. Instead of sitting back to protect their lead, Villarreal reset their lines and executed the exact same trap, and 4 minutes later, they scored again. Villarreal engineered these goals through a repeatable tactical system designed specifically to punish sideways passing. The structural collapse quickly turned into individual dominance. On the left flank, Villarreal's Nicolas Pepe found endless space, completely overwhelming his markers and dictating the flow of the attack. Meanwhile, in the center of the pitch, Villarreal controlled the tempo so tightly that Atletico vanished. Marcos Llorente was entirely cut off from the play, and Antoine Griezmann was suffocated, unable to influence the game. The pressure kept compounding, and in the 40th minute, Villarreal sired in a third goal. The stands at the Cerámica erupted. Atletico managed to pull one back in the 43rd minute, grabbing a brief lifeline. But deep in first-half stoppage time, Villarreal struck right back, adding a 4th goal before the referee even blew his whistle. Walking into the tunnel down 4-1 is a brutal reality. It is a physical deficit, yes, but more importantly, it is the psychological destruction of a squad that prides itself on discipline. Inside the away dressing room, Diego Simeone reacted by making 3 substitutions all at once. For a manager known for calculated, methodical decisions, a halftime triple swap is a clear signal of lost control. But swapping personnel couldn't patch the holes in their foundation. Villarreal had already identified the structural flaws in Atletico's shape, and fresh legs couldn't fix a broken system. Any lingering hope was erased in the 54th minute. Georgia's Mikautadze found the back of the net, sealing a 5-1 scoreline and ending the contest. While Villarreal was relentlessly clinical up front, their goalkeeper, Arnau Tenas, was barely bothered, needing to make exactly 3 saves across 90 minutes. It is a masterclass in efficiency. Villarreal achieved tactical supremacy, dismantling their opponents while letting Atletico keep the ball. A 5-1 scoreline forces a deeper evaluation of Atletico's defensive organization. It exposes a collapse in the very foundations that previously made them so difficult to beat. For over 10 years, Simeone carefully constructed a rigid identity. Conceding 5 times to an underdog publicly cracks that defensive reputation. The neutralization of their star players points to a larger structural vulnerability. It raises doubts about whether this current Atletico setup can survive against the intense, high-pressing systems dominating modern football. The intimidating aura that usually surrounds this squad when they travel across Europe has been thoroughly compromised. But on the other side of the pitch, this match is a statement of intent. Villarreal continues to prove that they are one of European football's most consistent overachievers, capable of building elite squads on a modest budget. Villarreal's success came from disciplined patience in the defensive block, total commitment to their pressing triggers, and ruthless offensive transitions. Ultimately, this game stands as a hard lesson. In the modern game, targeted tactical efficiency will always punish purposeless possession.